Hey, what's up, YouTube? Hey, I'm here today just to help you out. Hold on a minute while I work these bugs out. Hey, so I'm here today. Last night, man, I produced like this 20-minute long video, and I was so happy about this video. And you know what? I lost like 75% of it. I was so bummed out, and I'm here to come back with that and tell you about the exciting things that I'm doing. And I wanna congratulate you for stopping by and being one of those hungry people that are looking to take life, take charge of their life, take control of your life, and start achieving the things that I know that you can achieve. We can do so much, and I feel like all these people that go out and they're reading, self-help books, or they're watching videos about self-help, they're listening to these, gurus and all this stuff. Basically what they end up doing, you can read these ebooks, you can read books about success and what it takes to succeed, and they're going to teach you concepts and fundamentals about it, and at the end they're going to say, take massive action. You need to take massive action. You're all pumped up and you're like, man, yeah, I want to take massive action. I want to kick life right in the balls. Like I want to take over. I want to do all this stuff. Then what? Then what happens? That's my question. You go out and you have this problem and you're like, oh, I'm going to attack this problem. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh man, so now that I'm getting into this, I need to figure this out, and I need to figure this out, and I need to do this, and do I have enough money to do this? This part of it, and it starts getting a little bit overwhelming. It's a bigger goal, bigger problem that you're having. And so you start picking away a few things at this, and then life happens, and all these other crazy influences are out there. The girlfriend or the wife or the kids or your job, and you start losing focus. You start losing hold on the goal that you're trying to achieve. And I feel like that's the flaw in the system. All these people that are out there trying to help you out, like. They're not telling you how to take massive action. They're not telling you how to do it 9 times out of 10. Tell me if I'm wrong. Right now, down below, if you know of a guy that's teaching you how to take action right now today, not by explaining a concept, but having something you can physically do right now to start taking action against your goals and taking control of your life, tell me down below right now who these people are. Who's giving you the blueprint? Because I haven't seen one yet. I probably would have bought it by now. So I really dug down deep and thought, what is the mental process that it takes to think through and really take control and dominate a goal? Like what is the process, the thought process that goes into it? And by nature, I'm a project manager, so I know very well how to take complex problems and figure them out, execute them, the whole 9 yards. So what I ended up coming up with, and here's what I've been working on in the last week since I've been on here, right here, the Rock Solid Syndicate: identify, fragment, organize, strategize, execute, regulate, and dominate your life. That's what I'm working on right now. So, what do I mean? You gotta write down this goal that you have. You have to decide the goal that you have that you want to accomplish. You have to come up with that. No one can tell you what your goal needs to be. You need to get inspired. You need to dig inside yourself. Think about what you want to achieve, what value you want to bring to society. What is your value? What is your skill set? Build off your existing skill set, or you need to learn how to get some more skills. Like that's what's up. No one can do that for you. There's no one that can give you that. So you have to get to that point. And then going from there, that's where you can have a system. That's where you can start doing something. So with this, it's really, you need to identify the goal, and you need to identify why it is that you want this. You really have to, even just for yourself, like this isn't a book, this is interactive. Like you're gonna be writing down, this is a workbook, okay? This is a workbook. You're gonna write down why you want this goal. All the reasons, plenty of room, all kinds of lines. Why do you want this? Explain it to me. Explain it to yourself. And then at the bottom of the page, the bottom of every single page, you're gonna sign it. You're making a contract with yourself on what, why you want this. Identify. You need to identify all the pieces, identify and fragment, all the pieces of this puzzle, all the pieces of this goal. Think about all the steps it's gonna take. Just sit down and start writing it out. It doesn't even have to be in order. Write out what it is, all the steps, all the things that you're going to need to do in order to do this. Think about it. And you can go back and add to this later. That's how this works. And you're going to start writing down what materials you need, where you're going to source them, how much those things cost, the tools you need, the whole thing, whether it be subcontractors, if you have contacts that you need. I mean, this can go from a very small problem, a very small goal, up to very large goals. It's scalable. You can do either way. But I'm assuming if it's a very tiny goal and tiny problem, you don't need this level of help. Like if you're trying to achieve, if you're really trying to go after something, you need something like this. Then you need to organize that information. And this is where this comes in. You're organizing, you're bringing all this stuff together. So if you get overwhelmed, it's still there. You have it written down. You can go back and add it later, okay? Because it's going to take a little bit of time to put this together. There's likely a lot of different parts to it, and that's why you can't rely on just your working memory to grasp this whole problem. That's the mistake people make, because life butts in. Life gets in the way. You need to have an external reference. Apps and computer programs, those are great. Those are great. But there's something to me about having to scroll in between panes and apps and all these different things to try to figure something out. It gives me a headache. Like I want something real, something physical. I could take my 3-ring binder of all these steps and I could lay them all out on the table and I could look at the whole thing and understand what it is I'm trying to do. Something about having something in physical reality and a contract with myself that I'm going to do this thing that's very real. And then you come up with a strategy. You're going to start prioritizing all these things in your list. You're going to start assessing, are there any risks that I'm putting myself, what risks are there involved with these things? You're going to list them out, and then you're going to say, okay, this is how I plan to manage these risks. Because that's an important part. Risk management is an important part. Execution. When am I starting? You're going to pick a start date, and you're going to pick an end date, and list what the duration is. If you've given yourself 2 weeks to complete this, like sign the bottom of the page. You're giving yourself 2 weeks, and then you write down what it actually took. Like, make a commitment. You have to say, I'm starting this on Friday. I'm ending this within 30 days. This goal is going to be complete. Sign my name. I commit to this. If I don't commit to this, then I'm full of shit. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. After you've executed, or during the execution, you have to regulate. You need to monitor progress. You need to say, am I on track? Or after, you need to say, how efficient was I at this? How good was I at managing the risks? How can I do this better? And you're going to walk away, taking away some fundamental strategies you're going to use the next time you encounter a similar goal. And that's how you build. That's how you grow. That's how you improve. Your goal is to get better and better every time you do something, and build your abilities until you are an absolute powerhouse. And then dominate. You're going to dominate by saying, goal complete. Here's the next ones. Here's my next goals. Here are the next goals that I have And when you're done, you're going to think back and say, these are all the doubts that I had during this process. This is what all the feelings I had that were negative, and you're going to tell yourself you completed the goal. Like, all those doubts didn't mean shit. It's a mental program. It's negative feedback. It's all the people that said you couldn't do it. All the people that said you can't do that. Give me a break, dude. Give me a break. You can't really achieve the things you say you can achieve. You just proved them wrong. All those negative feedbacks that pop up into you, and you're like, oh man, is this idea really stupid? Like, do I really think I can achieve this? Or like, why do I always do this? Like, you need to take all of those, identify the recurring doubt cycle patterns, and throw them aside. And when they pop up, you can say, no, give me a break. I'm definitely going to do this. I'm definitely going to crush this goal. I'm going to learn from this goal, and I'm never giving up. And I'm going to keep listing the next goal and the next goal. I'm going to have a master list of goals, and I'm going to crush them all. Eventually, maybe you won't need to break down all these goals. Maybe your medium-sized goals, man, you're just going to have the thought pattern of how to complete this. You know, once you've done this so many times, it's going to be like second nature. So this is a real life application of goal crushing that everybody needs. Every person out there can benefit from a program, a written physical thing that you can take, and it's a record. Once you do it, this is a record of a goal you achieved and what you learned from it. I mean, that's powerful. That's powerful, and it's real. It's not like floating out in some program somewhere. Like, this is written paper, you signed it, you wrote it, it's yours. So then I started thinking, you know, this is like the core. Killing your goals, dominating these goals, that is most important. You know, taking massive action, that's what all the gurus are going to tell you. How do you take action? You need a structure, you need a strategy, and you need a way to work through it. So a framework already established. So I started thinking about, like, what are all the problems that people are having? Like, what are all the things I could really try to physically structure for people to go out and take control of in your life? Because people need to take control. They need to stop saying, why does this always happen to me? Why do I always do this? Why can't I do this? I try. You know, it's just how it is. Stop it. Take control. If you have, I feel like the biggest obstacle that people have right now is they just don't know how to structure their attack. They don't know how to structure it. They don't know how to think about the problem to crush it. So here's some of the stuff I've thought about. Here's something pretty cool. I mean, this is so basic, but I feel like everybody could benefit from this. This is a brainstorm map. You take one central idea, turn it into, you know, 7 different ideas and subcategories. You know, there's so many sides to a problem, different sides, and it's a great mental exercise and something physical that you can do to take an idea, break it into pieces, then take the offshoots of that main idea and break that down into pieces. And then you could take a specific area that you broke off and break that down into pieces. You need to do that to break things down into manageable pieces so that you can organize in it, put it back together, make a strategy, execute it, and gauge your performance. And then set your next goal. Like, you need to know how to process information. There's so much information out there right now. If you do not know how to process and break down information into manageable bits, recognize patterns, and make strategies, you're not going to be a success. Okay, things are just going to happen to you. You're not going to be in control of your environment. Yes, there are things beyond your control, but by and large, you are in control of your destiny, and you need to understand that if you want to be successful. So the other areas that I'm thinking, it's like your directory of skills. There's certain categories of skills that people have, and then once you identify where your strengths are and what your skills are in the proper categories, and start defining like, man, I want to start building my skill set in this area. That's where I want to go. That's what I want to start doing. That's how I can increase my ability to provide value. So you got to give people the framework. Budget creator. Everybody needs a budget. I've said it before. Everybody needs a budget. It's a financial world. We're in a capitalist system. Finance is everything. You're providing value. There's got to be an exchange. You need to be in control of your finances. You need to be an investor. You need to be managing yourself as a business. I don't care how creative you are in your life. You still need to exchange money for services. You need to have a budget. You need to know. You need to have a plan. And most people, when they sit down and do a budget, they're like, seriously? Like, I didn't even want to look at this. That's it, though. Are you going to run and hide from your problems? Or are you going to face it and figure out how you can provide more value and get paid more money? Like, that's what it is. Come on. Like, we need to just provide more value. We can have a better lifestyle, but we can't do it without giving value. We can't just be a drain on society. We need to figure out how we can help people every day. You need to figure out how you can help people in your community, in the world. Like, you need to be providing value every day. The more value you can provide, the better lifestyle you're going to lead. That's the system we live in, and it's not that unfair. Okay? It's not that unfair. People just need the strategies to understand how to get there, and people got to understand, if you're coming from nothing, if you're coming from a low point, you're coming from having very low funds, then you're going to have to make sacrifices if you want to level up. I'm going to keep hitting back on that frame. If you want to level up, you better be prepared to sacrifice, to be able to put in the work necessary to build a framework and a strategy in order to get yourself to the next tier, to be able to develop the broad skill base, and not just have, like, some people are born with some money and they invest wisely. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? People born with money, they either spend all their money and then they're broke and then they're down on your level. Not your level, but down on a low level financially. They didn't invest. The ones that are rich and just keep getting richer, what's that tell you? You need to be an investor. And don't think of it as this big complicated thing. Look for someone that can provide you with a framework. That's the key. Look at people that are successful at investing. Learn their mental process in that area. Think about that. Menu creator. How many people struggle with just providing a basic family menu, and really looking at, like, am I really feeding my kid goldfish and Slim Jims? Am I really feeding them trash? Like, what nutritionally am I going to provide my family with here? And really understand what the cost is associated with it. But, like, give me an easy framework where I can just bust out some basic family meals and have them physical paper, physical recipes. We're not, like, busting out the phone and looking up Pinterest to figure out how I'm going to do this, recipe this time. Like, just go grab the binder and flip it open. It's right there in your face. Like, there's something about a basic 3-ring binder, no tech, just we're going low tech. We're going guerrilla warfare on our problems in society right now, okay? We're going to go low tech. We're going to use 3-ring binders and paper, and we're going to have these things at our fingertips when we need them, like in the areas that we need them. You don't need I mean, yeah, I don't expect you to carry this thing with you, but the thing is, like, you're gonna have this, and once you keep looking at it and doing it over and over, then you're gonna know it by heart, and you're just gonna have it. But this is your family cookbook. Like, you need one of those. Why don't you have one? Stop like looking up all these things online to figure out how to make it. Like, make a family cookbook. Okay, I'm gonna give you the framework. All right, easy to do. You want to make it pretty after. You want to put it through. PowerPoint. Make a PowerPoint presentation. Print that off, and it all looks neat and clean. Do that. But people need an easy way to get started. That's how I feel. You need an easy way to get started. And there's nothing easier than putting pen to paper and getting it done. There's nothing easier than taking a pen to paper. You can look at your computer screen, pull the information, pen to paper, it's done. Wardrobe creator. Like, what are you rocking this year? What watches are you wearing? What hat do you want? What shirts do you want? What jeans do you want to wear? What boots do you want? What shoes do you want? What sandals do you want? What shorts do you want? What belts do you want? Like, what if I just gave you a framework and you just like planned your wardrobe for the year? Sure, you can get inspired through the year, but like right now, what's your wish list? What's your budget say about your clothing allowance? Like, don't you want to have control over that? Don't you want to have a plan and not get sucked in by all these retailers bombing you with, oh, this is on sale, oh, this is, buy this now, and you get roped in. You're like, oh, why don't you already know what you want to buy? And then if you already know what you want to buy, you're literally waiting for that to go on sale. You're gonna find that stuff like at the best price possible because you know what you want. You're not having an advertisement suck you into buying something that you don't really want or need. Like, you know what you want. You know what you want. You just need the framework and a way to easily write that stuff down. Just write it down. This is what I want. This is the model. This is the size. This is the whole thing. This is what I want. Kid manager. What parent doesn't want a kid manager tool? Something low tech. Something, just a written guide that they can go back to and be like, am I limiting my kid's screen time? Even though I think we overthink that part. What world are our kids going to live in? It's going to be highly technologically advanced. They need to know how to do this stuff, but I feel like they do too much take in information, too much not in relation with the physical world and reality. Okay, that's our fear. We know from experience as human beings, you can only spend so much time introverting, and introversion is very important, but you gotta take action. You gotta get out there. You need to interact with the world and reality. You need to connect with real people, not just internet online. Like, it's a real need. You need to express yourself. You need to connect. You need to interact with the physical objects in reality. This is real, okay? So if you could just line up, okay, my kids are gonna do these sports this year. I'm really, concerned about making sure they understand these 5 core principles. These are the things I want to make sure my kids understand. And then basically you can sit down and strategize how you're going to teach them those things. It's all about organization. It's about the things I just said. Identify, fragment, organize, strategize, execute, regulate, and dominate. Like, it's a frame of thinking, okay, that you need to understand if you want to be successful at everything. And you need to be in control. You need to be organized. You need to have a plan. And I'm not I'm not knocking spontaneity at all. In fact, when you're in control of the basic aspects of your life, when you have plans for those, all that anxiety that you just eliminated by having a plan, you're gonna feel freer to express yourself. I mean, how amazing is that? And so here I am, I'm talking about real things, that real problems people are facing every single day. They just can't figure out the framework. And that's where I come in. This is low tech. It's gonna seem so basic, but you know, I'm not trying to make a million. Well, I'm trying to make a million, just not on this. Like, I'm just trying to get enough money to cover, you know, my binders and my paper and a little bit from my time to format and do all this stuff. Formatting, just the structure, my framework, you know, nothing crazy. But I think that everybody has these problems I'm talking about. Income builder. You need to know what you make. You need to know what you make. You need to know, have a plan. Like, at my job right now, what could I do? What could I do to move up and make more money? What skills would I have to have? What specific problems is my company having, when I really think about it, that I could step in and really be a player for them? What could I be a leader in my workplace at? You know, I need to be a leader. They're looking for people to be a leader that are good at, you know, controlling the environment in the workplace. Side money, passive income, investment money. You need to learn how you can build your income, because you deserve to live the best lifestyle possible. That's a fact. If you come to life, wake up every day hoping to provide as much value as you can to society. Okay, you're not just going out to work at a job. Like, you have the intent to go provide value every single day. You're gonna get returned the value and be able to live a better lifestyle, level up your family, the whole thing. Book memory master. Okay, don't you want to just a simple way? Like, this is something I do when I read a book. I mean, I tend to ruin them in some people's eyes, because I highlight all the important things I read about. I highlight those because I want to be able to come back. I don't have an elephant, you know, memory. I don't have that, you know. But what if you could take the core understandings from this book, the core lessons, and just have a reference to go back to? This is just like your personal little diary of books and the things you took away from them. And when you go back and you look at the core understandings of a book, it really helps you recall that whole book and what that book means to you. And so, you know, I could probably continue to go on, and there's so much to be said about just providing people with a framework of thinking. And, you know, I've spent a lot of time thinking about thinking. They call that metacognition. So much time, and it's probably because all of the terrible things that I feel like I've experienced, and feeling, you know, depressed and hopeless and lost, and I've had so many bad experiences that trying to comprehend what we're doing here on this planet has been like a life mission of mine. I've read so many books. I've thought so much about everything possible. Just spent so much time wrapped up in that, reading books and trying to understand and researching and chasing down problems. And you know, I'm dedicated to helping people have a framework of understanding just the basic problems that we all want to get control of, so that we can limit the anxiety that is just like it's everywhere. It's permeating in the entire society. You know, people are experiencing anxiety on levels that are just ridiculous. and some people are, using drugs to replace to quell that anxiety that they're feeling, escaping, binge watching TV. They're doing all these things in their life to just escape this overwhelming feeling of anxiety. Getting drunk on a regular basis, they're trying to escape this feeling of anxiety, of not being in control. And no, you cannot control everything. There's certain things you have to just, you have to accept that you can't control them. You really can't control who is president. You can't control, what's happening on a global scale. You can be a number in the masses and have an opinion, but if you get so worked up over all these giant ideas and issues, you're gonna feel horrible. You gotta accept that you can't change global problems unless you are an absolute market disruptor and vocal, and you're getting some real, let's just put that aside. We're talking about settling general anxiety that people are having on an everyday basis over things that should be easily controlled if you just have the blueprint. So please, I'm hopefully, I know there's not a lot of people that are watching my videos, but I don't really care, because someday this is gonna catch on. And if you are watching my video, comment, be the first one to comment on a video. Put it down below. Tell me if I am absolutely wrong, or tell me that I'm right and that I'm onto something here, and that you yourself would pay a couple bucks to have the system to crush your goals, to take control of basic areas of your life so you don't have to worry about it. So you had a written plan, written contracts with yourself, promising yourself that you're going to do this thing in 2 weeks' time, that you're going to do it. And if you don't, you're proving to yourself that you're just not putting your money where your mouth is. And until you're ready to do that, you better just accept the place you are in life. If you're a loser right now and you can't perform a goal that you set for yourself, man, where are you going to go? Whose fault is that? Is that your fault, or is that society's fault? Or are you genuinely having a problem with the original thing I said, that you can't form a vision for yourself? You don't know what you want. If that's the problem you're having, you're obviously one of those people who are reactive and do not introvert enough to understand themselves and what it is that you want to do. I'm sorry, but no one can help you but you. You need to decide what your contribution is going to be, okay? And if you're going to do that, you need to just go out. You need to go out and walk around in society and meet people and talk to people and interact with people. If you're one of those people that are just hiding from everyone and just introverting and feeling depressed and sad about yourself, dude, you need contact. You need to get out there, and you need to talk to people, and you need to relate to people, and you need to understand people, and that is your ticket. You need to provide value to everyone else. You can't just provide value to you. That's why. That's the nature of reality. It's fact. Okay. So I'm gonna end on that note. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe. I want you to hear more about the things I'm talking about. There's so many different areas that I'm working on. This is just one. Information systems is my favorite portion of what I'm doing. So please tune in, listen to more of my videos, and I appreciate you stopping by and listening to what I have to say.